Welcome back to That's Cricket. This is your second Ashes Test post match show brought to you by Runmaker. Liam, what a test. It actually ends later than lunch on day 4.
Yeah, I'm actually. I think I'm very happy because it went to 4 days, right? England, that's a big achievement. But no, I mean, it was. They were staring down the barrel today, right? That's what all the press had it. They're going to stare down the barrel. There was a bit of a character by two of the players today. We're probably going to get into that in terms of Stokesy and Jacks. They played on a wicket that looked fairly good, to be honest with you. A little bit of nip, but they showed some fight and put a few runs on the board for England.
They did. They did put a few runners on the board. I got to have a good nap while they were batting. They were out there for a while. Stokesy did make 50. They put on 94 runs.
Mm,
Stokesy Jacks. They put on 94 runs. Stokes got 50 of 152 balls. But then out of kind of nowhere, beautiful take. Steve Smith,
yeah.
one-handed specky in the slips, changes the
Yeah.
momentum of the game. One brings two, two brings three, three brings four, and it's all kind of wrapped up.
Yeah, mate. It was as soon as it opened, right? You could see that Australia had the tactics and they're being patient. You had Doggett who was bowling bouncers, which was so, but that was the tactic. And then you had Anisa who bowled beautiful. The keeper came up, which made that Steve Smith's catch even harder because I can imagine the Carey's right glove would have been covering some of that. So for him to be able to take that so late, that was a magnificent catch. And inspiration goes from there. The bowling got better, very disciplined, and it was like bang, 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 bang. That's nothing usual. That's just England, right? Apparently.
That's no, it's not a collapse. It's just England. That's
That's it.
that's
That's it.
But yeah,
You said it.
Carey being up to the stumps, that's impressive. He such a credible game, Carey. We talk
Mm,
more on that. But yeah, they lost 4 for 17 England today. Yeah, Jack's caught in the slips. Neser takes 5. Stokes gone. He gets gone for 50. Atkinson smashes one to Smith. Cass a catch in the slips. Another one from Smith. Neser ends up with 5 for
mm.
42.
He
And he's hung
bought. He
around.
bought. He bought beautiful, mate. He had very good control. I think that's what they asked him. What were you looking to do? And he was just trying to hit top of off stump, and that's what he did over and over and over again, which makes him a good bowler around Australia. That's the funny thing, right? He's played 3 tests. He got 5 today, and he might not play the next test. But that's cricket. That's
Yeah,
cricket.
that's cricket. He may not play the next test. You would think they'd try to squeeze him in there somewhere. I mean, we'll have to figure out who they're gonna have for the next test with Pat Cummins and Lyon expected to come back for the Adelaide test. Liam, let's bring it back all the way back to the start. We did get 4 days of cricket, but we
Mm,
have to go back to the first innings to kind of set up how we got to today. So in that first innings, England, four
yep.
ducks for England. Stark gets another wicket in the first over. He gets Ben Duckett struggling a little bit. Well, I guess everyone's kind of struggling at some point. No one's really finding their feet inside the batting lineup for England, except for Mr. Average Joe Root,
Yeah,
who
he soaked up the pressure. He played his own tempo, right? Yeah, there's a chance early on that got dropped, which is a difficult chance. Missed drop Root. I think it was his left hand again. But Root just set his own pace. When he plays at his best, he just does his own tempo, regardless what's going on around him. I know we've seen him do the sweep shot and the ram to Boland and stuff like that in England, and but I feel like he just controls his tempo and he was outstanding. I think it was a lot was made for him. He's not going to be the best in the world. He's not going to be classed as the best if he doesn't get 100 in Australia. I'm not sure how much he cared about that. Maybe he did a little bit, and that was his celebration. He was like, eh. But it was like it's just another 100 for me to go on the other how many hundreds I've got. But he was outstanding, mate. He was absolute player of the day.
Yeah, batted very well. 138 off 206 balls. Spent 379 minutes at the crease. 15 fours, 1 6 strike rate, 66.99. Yes, very good performance from Joe Root. Ends up not out. They
Mm.
ended up, this could have something they look back. England kind of cost them the game here, set themselves up for failure during this first innings. If someone had stuck out there with Root, they could have put on many, many more runs. Australia end up with 511 from their first innings. England only able to put up 334.
Yeah.
Tough,
I mean,
tough. When you,
it is as well, isn't it? Because the Archer came in the first innings and smacked a few, but it was the morning after when Marnus took that absolute blinder of a Superman catch when it stuck in his right paw. That kind of changed that momentum, right? And then Australia came off the running to get off to get the pads on, and Joffrey just got out, and he obviously strolled back and has to get ready to bowl. And when he came out and bowled, he was kind of zapped the first innings, right? He was bowling wides down the leg side, which is unusual for him, bowling at 135, 138, and it took a while to get going, but yeah, big score on the board. 500 is never easy to chase.
yeah, but you mentioned Jofra. He looked so different from that bowling innings the first time he bowled to today. Today he was up to 150 clicks. He was really slinging them down there. Uh, Absolute hilarious ending to the game where he's given. Well, I think Steve Smith give him some chirp first.
Yeah,
I think the phrase was "Not sure why you're bowling quick, champion" or something. Or when the
I know.
game's
He
over,
what?
champion. He said
Yeah,
he
what
called him champion.
he said, you only bowl quick when there's nothing on the game.
Oh, yeah, and then he said
Yeah, yeah,
champion, and he goes
champion,
champion. Yeah,
champ.
and
Cheers, champ.
yeah, and then you can hear on the mics, it was I hadn't really heard anything over mic until that kind of moment, and then they kept the stump mics on, and you can hear Stokes talking to him, you could hear, Arch talking to him, and he got so chirpy at the end.
Mm,
A barrage from Archer hits him for 6, Smith ends up hitting him for 6, and then to win the game, Smith all up in it. He's like, "Oh, yeah," cheering and fist pumping with, Weatherald, and, yeah, a lot of momentum is gonna shift now for well, the Australia's up 2-0. You'd expect at this
hmm
point it's a 5-0 absolute whitewash. They're gonna go to Adelaide and just absolutely destroy. Momentum's just, all for Australia. Um
mm.
but yeah, potentially. Then there also all the lineups changing. Have to mention in the first innings, bowling performances by Mitchell Stark,
Yes.
6 for 75 off
Yeah.
20 overs.
Unbelievable. And I think a lot of people always thought that that big in swinger to the right hander would do all the damage. I was listening to Jason Gillespie. Obviously, Dizzy's an absolute legend, a great bowler himself. And he's talking about how Mitchell Stark's worked on coming straighter. When he used to bowl, obviously, that wobble seam, he would be a bit lower, his arm would be a bit lower. So probably didn't get the bounce. Where this one, he was higher up and he was kissing the seam and he was making it hard to play. Batsmen still think he can bring the ball back where he did once or twice, picked up a couple of wickets from the lefties nicking off. But no, he was special again, and he's in some serious form. Obviously, backing up the last test, and obviously man of the match, and obviously what he did here with bat and ball, his Mitch's Ashes.
Yes, yeah, and you're right. He has ended up with man of the match, 6 for 75. Then he goes from there, he ends up with 77, which is the highest run score for Australia. He top scores for Australia, batting in at number, where did he come in at? Number 8, number 9?
Mm,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, coming in at 9. He actually breaks a record. I think he has the most runs, most Ashes runs or most runs as in the number 9 position. And another fun fact, Australia for the third time ever, the entire 11 batting lineup had double figures.
wow.
Only the third time that Australia has ever done that as a batting lineup. There was one in a Bradman era and in 1992 against Sri Lanka. So everyone contributed to the Australian batting, getting them to that 5-11, which obviously was kind of enough to kind of essentially bat England out of the game. Into yesterday, they had a great start. They were, none for 48. and
Yeah.
then it kind of one brings two, and as we go
Once,
again.
yeah. One big drive after another big drive, after caught and bowled, after another caught and bowled, after a big drive. That's kind of how it played out, right?
Yes. The Cotton Bowls were kind of unreal.
Yeah, it was like playing cricket with kids in the garden, and the kid just knocks it straight
Yeah.
back to you. That's kind
Yeah.
of it was like, what?
It
It's
was a
like,
little bit
okay,
of deja vu, actually. It was
yeah,
you watch it and then, it happens again. I'm like, "Didn't I just watch this?" And it's like, "Oh, no, it's a whole different batter," and, we're watching it at 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning,
yeah,
and it's like, "Well, hang on, didn't this just happen?" No, it's the exact same wicket to the different
exact same.
person. Exact same wicket. And technically, he had a 3rd chance. Duckett really early on, smashed one back at him, absolutely
Yeah.
baseballed it to him, pops out of his hands. But the other two were just spoon fed.
Mm.
Pretty easy takes
Little
there for,
lollipops. Yep.
yeah, pretty easy take there for Nisa. Um, and then yeah, and then today it was on the shoulders of Ben Stokes to do something great. You had said that he would potentially do something great, had the opportunity to do something great. Even in the broadcast, they were like they had mentioned at some point he had faced as many balls as he had done at the
Mm.
2019, and it could have been, it could have been, it could have been, but
What breaks a partnership, mate? A good nut shot. That's
a
what
good.
actually did it. That I think that took it out of him, and then it just like made him like spray
Literally,
away. Yeah,
literally,
that's
to literally took it out of him.
so,
Literally.
I think it might have been after that he was a bit winded and he just stuck his bat out a little bit, but it was great bowling again. It was a good innings. It was good patience. Him and Jax played nicely, but it also showed that you can bat on that pitch a bit like Stark and Bowling, what they did to that previous innings where they batted time. They're willing to
Yeah.
get hit. They were looking to duck. England showed they could bat on that pitch. It was just obviously a bit later.
Y Yeah, I think, I did see a meme like, "This test is the death of Bazball and burn it like the ashes." Ben Stokes proved today that Bazball is dumb and you shouldn't play Bazball and you should just play cricket. Like,
I
Ben Stokes
think,
just he just played cricket today. Like, he just cricketed.
yeah.
Like, that's
I,
that's cricket. Like, that Ben Stokes just did cricket today.
That's cricket. I think when you look at the best teams in the world, and England are not right now, but you can win more than one way. You have to find a way, whether
Oh,
you're a
yeah.
boxer or you're a striker or a golfer. There's different ways that you can win a game of sports, and it shows, isn't it? You're not just Bazball. You have to find ways to win against different opposition. Sometimes going out too fast, too quickly is not going to win you a game. Sometimes it's being clever. You're playing against Mitchell Stark, who let's maybe a bit clever against him, maybe take down the other bowlers, but. Yeah, there's more than one way to win that, right?
Yeah, it's a good old hare and the tortoise. But
Yeah.
you can another way to a couple ways to skin a cat. Like England now looking in the like World Test Championship rankings, they're one, two, three, four, five, six. They're
Oh,
seventh,
wow. Wow.
seventh. They're only above Bangladesh and the West Indies. Everyone else is
Mm.
above them in the Test Championship. Yeah, look, kind of looking pretty bad for England over here.
Yeah, but the
Um,
games are exciting though, mate. So it's
Games
fine.
are exciting, but I mean, if you're an English fan, like if I was an English fan, I'd be livid. Like if I was an England fan, I would be like, sack everyone. This is ridiculous. Like, because tactically, like you said, there's no advantage. There's no strategic advantage. Or like if it works, it works. Notion is
Yeah.
just ridiculous. Like I posted that meme today of like, oh, it's fine, we're fine. Like you're not fine. Like English cricket is and baseball is dead. Like and Stokes he proved it today. Like he batted a great innings today with Will Jacks, and that's what everyone needed to do. If
Mm.
everyone just batted like that, because there's no excuse on the pitch was bad. No, pitch was fine. Pitch had some cracks in it. It's cricket. That's cricket. You're gonna get cracks in the
What is
pitch.
I remember Ruti was saying Bazball is just every player finding the way that works for them and going along with it, right? Bazball's brought up by the press, whatever, whatever, whatever. But that aggressive type, you can put your sword back in your holster at some point and take it easy, right? Gun in your holster,
Yeah,
sword in
yeah,
holster. You sword in the sleeve. You can put the sword
right.
back in the sleeve now and then and think, let's be smart, let's be clever.
Yeah, because even you think like Travis Head came out both innings and he basballed himself. He trap balled himself. Like just playing aggressive cricket is a thing that can happen, and some players play that way. And if it comes off, it comes off, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. If Travis Head had started swinging in that second innings, in the first test, and he got out and early, we would have gone. It wouldn't have been a amazing trap ball but
Yeah.
that's what happens. Sometimes it just comes off, right?
Mhm.
And you play your way. But when you have 5 days of cricket to play, I feel like England have just constantly rushed it. They haven't like it's as if they've gone to these things and they've got somewhere to be. Oh, we got somewhere to be in 3 days. So let's just make sure we get it done so we can get there. You don't have to rush. Like you can face, like Stokes faced 152 balls today. Jack's faced 92 balls. That's cricket. That's Test cricket. That's part of it.
It's different. Also, it's different in the UK, different in England because the outfields are rapid, the grounds are
Mm,
smaller. So over here, if they've got in England, you'd have try and add on like so Stokes plays 50 balls. Probably in England you'd be right 50 off. Or you get 70 off. Do you know what I mean? It's so easy
Yeah,
to pierce the gap and to go for four. It's harder to block the field. Where Australia is a lot bigger, so you can plug the gaps a little bit harder. The grass is a little bit thicker, different bit of grass. So I think that's why England it struggled to play like that. It's
yeah.
consistently. Travis Head shows you can do it now and then as a player. You do something extra special, but that isn't an innings that it's extra special. You don't see that every game.
Yeah, no, the boundaries are definitely a concern. Well, a different thing that they have to contend with being in Australia. They're at least 5 meters bigger, average around the ground. Sometimes even 10 meters bigger at points of the ground
Mm.
than
And the
you would
ball's
find.
soft as well. The ball was
Yeah,
soft as well, right?
yeah, and I mean, considering today, we the pink ball test, the wickets all fell today. Like it's in daylight. Like I know it's trying to bowl to the players when they're just coming into the daylight or coming into the night time or whatever. But they actually, over the course of the match, played pretty decent during that time. You can't really say the two wickets they lost just now were for fun. It was dead rubber kind of thing, but plenty of wickets happening during the day, like
Well,
regular cricket,
yeah.
and
The
hit
minus one, the Gus Atkinson was naughty. That hit.
that was that's your word for it. That is pretty naughty. Get the glove, but that's kind of sucky for Labuschagne. You would think like
Nah,
going
don't
out
need that,
and
mate.
you don't need
Unlucky,
that. Like
pal.
you know what I mean?
Unlucky,
Like
mate. Off your pop, mate.
no, but as in like not good for him like to play that shot like to do that. Like he's better off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it.
Do you know what's strange about that, mate? Is it was quite wide and he leaves very well. It wasn't like it was straight at him. His hands were out, which is unusual for him. It was the same as the ball before, and it's very strange for him. So maybe he's in a mindset as like, "Oh, we're going to finish this quickly," and he's trying to prod at
Yeah,
one to get a single. When
yeah.
normally, if he was playing his way, he probably would have left it right.
You say that he's been leaving well. He left the ball in the first innings and chopped it on off his elbow, and then he almost did the exact same. He almost did it the exact same way in the next day.
Mm.
Oh, actually, from sorry, he did that in the first test, and then he almost chopped it on again in the first day. He went to leave it, pull his arms up, hit him in the elbow,
Yeah,
just went over the stumps. So yeah, it's kind of a weird thing there with Manus, and also if you think back to Border Gavaskar Trophy, he left one from Boomer that just hit him straight on the pads, thinking that it would go past the stumps, but it was in swinging full delivery. I don't know what he was doing there, but yeah, he had looked good in the first innings, and like everyone contributed in this first innings.
Mm.
We can go back and look at Australia, and Travis had 33. Didn't actually he was on the lower end for Australia in that first innings. Weatherald 72 off 78, a good dig for him.
Yeah,
Being new to the side, he got some runs and unfortunate not to go all the way on the 100, and he almost got out again to the in swinging Yorker tonight. He
yeah,
almost got out the same.
he
They went
did.
up they went
Going
up for the
down.
review.
Yeah, going down. Actually, it was going down, but it was a good ball, right? I think the
Very good ball.
commentators, I think Alistair Cook asked for it when I was
Yes.
listening to, and he got it, but it was just sliding down leg there.
Yeah, so that first one in the first test, Archer was right arm over the
Oh,
wicket, and
yeah,
then for the one where he got him in the first innings, he was right arm around the wicket, and he
yeah,
was right arm around the wicket tonight to him, but it was a little more straighter and it bounced. The one from the first innings was a full toss, like it was a century crusher right on the Yorker length. But yeah, and now that I'm looking at it with him, I don't know what he is doing with this crouching. He is so
mm,
low. It's kind of unbelievable. I don't know how this is helping him at all. I don't know what the strategy is around the crouching.
apparent.
If it's a
It looks alright.
comfort
Yeah,
thing, but it makes no sense logically from a teaching batting perspective
mm,
to be that low because you got to pop up. You got to move your
yeah,
head. Your goal is to try to keep your eyes and head as still as possible.
correct.
Um,
But it's working though.
so
It's also what feels good to the player, right? It's
right.
like you've got your individual needs, and actually, I feel comfortable like this. He might move a little bit, or he might move enough to, okay, I'm moving, then I'm going to be still. But obviously, this test he's played nicely. He's runs in the first innings, not out in the second innings. He's going to go back to Adelaide, where he's played so much cricket and full of confidence. So
Yeah. Yeah. Lavishane, he got 65 in that first innings. He looked good. And while we're here, while we're talking about all of the run makers, we should dedicate the rest of this segment here to, and we're going to talk about run maker, all the run makers that happened during the Aussie innings. They were the ones that dominated the runs here in the second innings. Like I said, run maker. Thank you for supporting the video here. Every series, the Ashes gives us moments that we will never forget, with blistering spells, brave stands, and shots that echo through history. Uh, Runmaker VR is your very own indoor net facility, and you can train from the comfort of your own home with lifelike pace. You can train your reflexes and your technique with real-time feedback, and you can take on sessions inspired by legends out in the middle. This Ashes, don't just be a spectator. Own the moment with Runmaker VR. You can work on your short ball, your cover drive, your ram shots, and get real-time feedback that you can give to your coach to make sure that you are better out in the middle. Download Runmaker and save this Ashes with code Runmaker sub E6EFEA to get 50% off your first 6 month subscription when signing up before January 31st. Thank you again to Runmaker. I'm super excited to being out there and using it and batting
Me
with
too,
it.
mate.
We got a lot of stuff coming with Runmaker. Super excited and thankful to them. Smith, he was fired up. He was fired
Mm.
up at the end there. He came off 61 in the first innings, and kind of, I'm not sure where
Excuse
the
me.
emotions were coming from in the second innings, but he's looking to take it on. He captained this. He captained this game. He captained the last game. Pat Cummins will be coming into the side most likely,
Yeah.
from what we can tell. He's going to lose his captaincy, but let's just talk a little about him being a captain and scoring runs.
Yeah, I mean, he's not really. He got 50 odd. What did he get? 50 odd, 60 in the first
He got
innings, and
61. Yep.
I mean, he's one of the best players to ever play the game. To have him in your side, and he's not actually needed to. He hasn't gone big yet either, but he's still such a massive player. And that's apart from his captaincy, which has been excellent. We kind of bagged a little bit about why the fielders are out, but they obviously had a game plan, and it worked yet again. So you have his captains, you have his batting, but also his fielding that changed the game today. We spoke about that. So he's out there, he's amongst it, he loves it. He's got a great thinking brain, so he's always busy. And the catch he took, which took Jacks today, changed momentum, and then it was bang, 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 Australia win. But he's impressive, isn't he, all round?
Yeah, I think it's not just the batting, it's also it's also the fielding. You know, the three catches he took today, absolutely insane. And there always seemed to be someone there. Even with his captaincy, someone seems to be there where he wants it to happen. Like, for example, I think there was maybe three times that balls just went over Cam Green's head. Like, Cam Green was kind of slow to react a little bit in his fielding. No
Yeah,
one's counting anything as a drop. But he had about three chances, and a couple of times he was at full stretch, and
yeah,
the balls went exactly where Steve Smith wanted them. He had Green in the exact spot. The balls just were a little too high. And he put himself in the right position to get
yeah,
Atkinson. He hit it straight to him, and even he put Travis Head in a short square, and Head almost had a chance. He busted his
yeah.
hand, but you know what I mean? That's the kind of thing that we get from Steve Smith. He just kind of can see the game and piece it together like a jigsaw puzzle, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. The camera was on him all the time because he's very animated, right? He shows his feelings. He wears his heart on his sleeve, but he's clever with it. He makes some great decisions. They obviously do the strategy and they know where to bowl to the England players, especially the tail end, because they just put the fielders out and the England guys just swapped away. And
Yeah.
so I think at that point, the England cricketers at the back end, the tail enders are like, I don't want to get hit, and I'm not hanging around, so I'm going to swing. That's kind of
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. Cam Green, 45 of 75, played one of the most silliest shots I've ever seen in Test cricket. No
Strange.
idea. I no idea what he was doing. It's quite bizarre. I mean, even if he was doing the short ball and he wanted to get away and think he was going to cut over the
That remind me of
offside.
you remember the old was it Baz McCullum, Mitchell Johnson, where he backed away? Did you remember that? He just left it, hit all three. Do you remember that one? Exactly the
No,
same.
no.
We'll clip that. But
We'll
yeah,
clip that. But it wasn't like he was going to leave it. He had backed away to have full intentions of going up and over extra cover, but I guess Atkinson
pass.
was just Cost was just like,
Yeah,
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 we're just gonna put it up in the block hole and knock over your castle. Um, Alex Carey kind of robbed himself of 100. He had opportunity to go out there
Yeah,
and score runs.
very
63
very
though,
good.
he did a job, and he does it. He always does a job.
Mm,
Could go down as a well. He'd probably be the bronze medalist, I think, in this game. You'd have to give Joe Root. Unfortunate to not get man of the match. Stark obviously deserved it with
mm,
the 70 and the 6 for Root gets 100. But I think Carey, with all of his catches he took in the game, especially in that first innings, and coming up and keeping up to the stumps, that's crazy. Like I don't think,
mm,
especially Americans, don't kind of understand how crazy that is. I try to put some clips together of that, like picking the bounce, because when you're like a baseball catcher, you obviously the ball is coming flat to you, and that is obviously impressive. You got to get your mitt stuck behind that 100-mile-an-hour fastball. In cricket,
yeah.
when you're keeping up to the stumps to 85, 90 miles an hour, you have to predict the bounce. And he was getting balls hitting the cracks and coming up at his head and shooting down low, and that it's kind of rare to see a keeper up to the stumps to the pace bowlers.
Yeah, I mean, he was excellent, mate. He after the shenanigans with him and Bairstow in Lords way back when, obviously he's a great character, and I mean, he won. He helped get wickets there. He was tied up to the stumps. The pressure that he created when he was behind the stumps to Stokes was a part of that wicket. They were cramping Stokes with the keeper being up to the stumps, but that's no easy task. You're like an ice hockey keeper, right? An ice hockey
Yeah.
goalkeeper, you stood up to the stumps and you're willing to take it on the chest, you're willing to get hit. But I don't think he did. I think his hands were beautiful all game. Excellent,
Yeah, he literally only missed he missed one ball all game. And even that one.
which is impressive, really
Yeah, and even
impressive.
that one, he was up to the stumps. It just went through his back part of his glove, hit him in the chest. There was no nick, no run. It didn't
Yeah.
cost anyone anything. But yeah, that was incredibly impressive. Um, Josh Inglis, he came into the side. He got a couple of runs. It was nothing crazy. I mean, he's going to be under the radar here, and we'll see if they will need him coming into the next test. Maybe not needed
Mm,
with Lyon and Pat Cummins coming in. We'll have to come. We'll get into who the lineup will be into the next test a little bit later. But and then Neeser, he scored some. He was out there. He held his bat, and Australia batted deep. They batted deep. Stark and Boland put on a huge partnership. Very good performance by them. I think it's the biggest eight wicket stand in Ashes history. Very
mhm.
good performance from them. And then even Brendan Doggett got 13 runs at the end, and again making it.
Little
Um,
cheeky cut shot. Seen his little cut shot
yeah.
again.
Yes, it was very good. So other things to kind of get into here to kind of discuss. Um, Australia used the second test to seize control of the Ashes, and psychologically now England just gutted, right? They're just
Yeah,
absolutely like there's no coming back for that. I think, like I mentioned, Bazball is kind of dead. They have to be able to like get into this headspace of let's just bat. Like let's just go
yeah,
out there and bat. Like let's just bat the whole day. You know what I mean?
yeah. It is, and the should that can do that in parts, right? Even Joffre when he played, and I know he swung a few, but he spent time at the crease. Uh, Yeah, I mean, it's tough, isn't it? Because you're going to go into the third test now. Australia 2 up, flying high. And I think that's why Steve Smith came out and won the game like he did today, because he wanted to be ruthless. He wanted to say, listen, we're going to absolutely smash you to bits. And we're going to do this very quickly. And I'm going to take it to the bowler. Joffa, yes, please, I'll have some. And that's what he did. That's what I loved about it. The pressure's on. And obviously, England apparently going on a golf trip for 4 days now. That's what everyone's saying. So,
Really?
yeah, apparently so. But
Relax.
yeah,
Relax. Yeah.
relax. But the
A
pressure's
little relaxed.
on. Australia in the old driving seat there.
Yeah, I mean, there's people talk about the preparation and whatever. I just think it is really a psychology and how you attack the game. Like there should just be from the top down. It should just be bat the day. Like I don't care
Mm,
how many balls you block. I don't care how many balls you need to let go. Bat the day. We have 5 days to just bat the day. Like everyone should just be staying out there as long as possible because the runs are there. The runs are there, and you can build partnerships together, and you can build something. And they're gonna have to need to do that in Adelaide, or it'll just be like just the papers and the way that
mm.
uh, the rest of the world looks at English cricket. If they get completely whitewashed in Australia, it's gonna be a bad look for them, like a real
Yeah, I
bad look
mean,
for English cricket.
it's been done before, mate, you know? So it's like, Still, it's was it today's fish and chip papers, tomorrow's bin or whatever it is, trash or whatever it is that
Yeah.
they say in the UK. Yeah, I mean it's tough, mate. I mean, Alistair Cook as well said some of his darkest times as a captain in Australia because once you know you're under the pump, it's the whole country's behind you, right? Whether you're going to the hotel or you're getting on the plane, there's always an Aussie who's going to abuse you. You don't get any respite. So once you start going down, it's a tough place to turn it around.
Yeah, but I mean, it's more than that because they came off the series draw to India, and they had a chance to win that series. They were 60
Mm.
runs away from winning the series, and ended up losing it or getting in the draw. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like English cricket is kind of on thin ice right now. And we can move now to talk more about the captaincy. Ben Stokes. Obviously, this last two games have been Ben Stokes versus Steve Smith. I feel like at points Stokes just had it wrong, and I don't know if it's
Mm,
if it's him having it wrong or the bowlers are just bowling the wrong. They have the wrong strategies or the wrong ideas, or where they kind of go. Like,
mm,
and just even just right now at the end here, like Joffre's like, okay, we're just gonna bowl short to Smith. Okay, that's another the game's over. But then when Weatherall was on strike, they had five behind square. Like, I
mm.
don't like. What are we? What is
It's
happening?
even like the Australian team, England team, like, what's this test cricket? The fields are crazy. Like, what's
Yeah,
going on with this? It's like the singles everywhere, and like everyone's like, I'm still going to try and smack it, and I'm going to get nicked off, even though there's singles everywhere. I can
right,
bat and face 150 balls, 150 singles. Thank you very much. But
right.
yeah, I mean, I mean, Smith's he's done everything right. That's all you can look at, right? He's two tests, two wins. They've won 2 days, one in four and a bit days. Smith, literally everything he's done, everything he's touched has turned into gold in this the last two tests. Stokes is under the pump because he's also not getting help. Some of the players are struggling. So even if your balls are struggling with pace and stuff, it's what fields do you set to that? It's quite you have to end up setting a field to a bad ball.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, but yeah, obviously Steve Smith's well ahead of the game, and he's two up in captaincy and also up in games won.
Yes. Bowling, the two breakthrough kind of things. Stark, we could talk all day about how good Starkey is. He that definitely in that first innings, he was holding it down for Australia. And we said that the other three were kind of the same wheel in the cog. They were just doing
Mm,
the same thing, not doing much. But Nisa really stepped up in the second innings. And also I have to say, Boland bowled very well last night. Boland
yeah,
bowled very well last night. I think sometimes you can probably talk more about this, is that bowlers getting into a rhythm, into a groove, into a like a their eyes kind of light up and they're just like they're in the moment. Like
yeah,
Boland last night, if the game had gone on for another hour last night, I think Boland would have rolled them last night. He was on something last night. You know what I mean? And then coming into today, not the same. And then
hmm,
Nisa kind of got himself into that groove and really connected with Carey being up to the stumps, and like all of a sudden he was on, and three brings
yeah.
five.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at you look at the Aussie bowlers and the English bowlers. Archer bowled okay, Stokesy bowled well in spots, but then you look at the Australian bowlers. Apart from Dogger, the other three were excellent, right? Green didn't bowl too much; he was so. He's still okay, but
Yeah,
if you look
early
at
on, Mother.
Stark's, yeah, Stark, excellent. The first kind of innings, he was smooth and silky. He does what Stark does. His wobble seam and brings some back. You look at Boland when he gets into that rhythm. It's that sweet spot where everything feels easy. The ball's going to put it where you're going to drop it. You think it and you put it exactly there. So, and obviously in cricket, the best bowlers can hit this like a certain spot over and over again with pace, with bounce. It's not as a bowler you're just putting it there. You're actually bowling it with pace, with momentum, which obviously hits the pitch and allows it to deviate or swing better from your wrist. But yeah, they're the three for me that's kind of changed the game there with Stark, Boland during the innings was excellent, as you said yesterday, and then Nisa today was outstanding, and yesterday,
Yeah, they
yeah.
had they had they put the handkerchief on the pitch for they do the mapping. And
About this side, right?
yeah,
It's like
that's it.
that's
Yeah, the A4 piece
yeah,
of paper, and this Nitsa was just on that line, on that length today.
yeah.
Yeah, very, very good performance and well deserved five. Is that enough to keep him in the squad? Like, this is like a whole scenario that's gonna come to. Let's just probably go into a little bit about that now. Like, you get 5 wickets and you may get dropped.
Well, if you think of
Yeah.
it, Doggett will be out, right?
So
Think about
yeah,
that.
you'd probably have to go dog it out. So Pat Cummins comes back in. That
Yeah,
should get rid of Josh Inglis. That removes Josh Inglis potentially, right? Because you have Inglis and you have Doggett are probably going to be the people that removed,
yeah,
right? That would make the most sense. You would keep Cam Green, and you would go with Pat Cummins in for Josh Inglis, and then you would have Lyon to come back in for Doggett. And then now you've got
beautiful.
your 11, right? That makes sense, right?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
done,
yeah.
even Stevens.
You've got your
Away
main
you go.
balls, and then you got your green as well, right? Who's bowled 140 on a good day. So
Right.
yeah, I think that's it. That's the team, mate. It
That's
definitely is the
it.
team.
That's Adelaide's team.
Yeah,
But England have some trouble with their top order. Is there a
yeah.
chance that they go the role with maybe they drop Pope and go with Bethel? Do they Bethel got
But
some
Beth,
runs?
I think he got out. He didn't get many, did he? This
They
he
got
just played the two.
40.
He got
He's got
40.
40.
I don't know. Are you going to stick with that? Are you going to stick with Porpy? Like after 2 games, he got a 50 in the first game,
It's
right?
it's this weird scenario, right? Where it's like at different points and different inningses, each of them did something that was like, oh, okay, that's good. But they like Australia put every batter together for one innings. England haven't put every batter together in one innings. If they had put everyone's best moments into just one
Mm,
innings, we would have a good test match. But right now, one or two in the order in the
yeah,
11 are doing something each innings. They're not putting it all together.
yeah.
So
I didn't
it's
say
hard
this
to give
too
the
much.
judge on form. Yeah.
Yeah, when I watch Porpy, I know how good of a player he is. I've seen him get runs, many, many runs. But when I watch him play Test cricket, I always feel like it's vulnerable and something's going to happen. And I feel like when he gets through a certain period, then he can express himself a little bit. But up top, I feel like he's always going to give chances. Uh, Will Jacks bats number 1 in ODI cricket. Do you bring Jacks to 3? Then you've got him in.
Yeah.
Then you can bring another someone else in. Because he's batting low down. But
I heard they would say on the comms that today they said Jacks to 3 and then Pope to glove, give Pope the gloves and then get rid of Jamie Smith.
Kevin,
Yeah.
I think the ball's not going to do as much in Adelaide, right? In terms of bounce and stuff. Jamie Smith would be better in Adelaide, and he's keeping. I know he dropped a catch and stuff, but like he's been pretty sweet. He's been good for England. Doesn't he average 50 with the bat, mate? You can't drop someone's average 50 with the bat.
I don't
Like
know. I think he's under the pump a little bit right now. I don't know, and I don't know who else you want to bring in. We have to talk about the bowling for England. Like go through the whole order. Do you give Potts a chance? Do you give Tongue a chance? Do you give Joffre a rest? Like
how
has
long's
Joffre
Woody?
been that has Joffre been that impactful?
No, I mean he's averaging what 38 with the ball. He's got 3 wickets. Oh, 40,
So
averaging 40. So, I mean, the thing is with that, pace does bring chances. It also puts pressure on the batsman. It makes you feel uncomfortable. You have to have someone bowling like that. He is making difference, right? He is making people bounce around. And even today with the Steve Smith thing, Steve Smith does not want to be facing 150. That's why he's playing like that. He wants to finish it, but it's not comfortable. Do you know what I mean? It makes people feel uncomfortable, which might give chances at the other end. But in terms of impact, him getting wickets, he hasn't got many. But do you bring is Woody being cancelled out? Is Woody out of it? Do we know?
I'm not sure. We haven't. I'm not sure about what's happening with his leg. But on the case that
Yes.
he, like on the case that he is out, the other options they can roll with Potts and Tongue. They spoke a lot about bowling to left armers, having specialists bowling to the left armers.
Hmm.
I feel like Joffre has really figured out Weatherald and he has the ball to get him out. Apart from that, he hasn't really has anyone's number. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's bowling, he can bowl at 150. He hasn't been because that first inning spell he didn't bowl very. He was like coming out the gate at 135.
Yeah.
And you've talking about this. We've spoken about this. Maybe not even on the pod. We've spoken about this, but before you go to bowl, personally, you'd like to really do something really athletic and really explosive to get yourself ready and
Fired up.
primed to bowl. Brett Lee was talking about this also on comms. He does the same thing. They had footage of Joff just sitting on the fence, waiting to come in, just chilling on
Mm.
the fence, just his head kind of like
You
just
don't, you
head down.
don't, y- but you don't know what he's done in the dressing room, though, right?
You
He might
you
have got
don't
med, but
you don't.
I think he would have done a few med ball slams, or he might have felt Was it straight from his batting? But who knows? But yeah, you need to be fired up from ball one. I mean, someone who can bowl that quick, 150, like, you don't waste your deliveries. I know sometimes you're not meant to do that, but he wasted a few. He bowled what, down the leg side for four today, which I've done plenty of times in my life. But it's like that's setting the tone, right? It's like make sure you are warm, make sure you fired to go and hit that 150 from ball one because he was aggressive today. It was pretty impressive the paces, right? He was unsettling batsman, but you look at that, as you said, and I did call out for Potts for this game, and I think it would have suited him because he's a very similar bowler to like a Boland or Anisa.
Yeah.
But I think him going to Adelaide's a different wicket. It's a bit drier. So then who do you go with? Obviously, you're going to go still with. So you got Stokes. You probably Atkinson's probably going to play again because Atkinson's actually been most accurate, one of the most accurate bowlers. He picked up a couple of wickets today. He picked up three in the game, I think, right, or maybe two or three.
Something to
But
that effect. Yeah.
but he's been bowling nicely in terms of being attacking the stumps. He's been hitting the pitch hard. His pace has not been up there, but 135, 140. So I potentially would keep him in. I maybe would go with Tongue. I'd say let's go, mate. Let's give it a go. He's been playing a few games away from this. He's played some Lions games, so he's got some overs under the belt. And he can bowl like that spell, which can pick up wickets. He's got that extra pace, and apparently he's been bowling quick over there. So throw him in there. Get him in there.
Get him in there. Get the tongue in. Fielding and discipline. 5 catches go down for England yesterday. Big cost. I mean, catches win matches. I'll say it over and over again. Everything from the Lavishane one-handed specky to end the innings on day 2, and then through to everything today with Steve Smith. Like Australia forever. There has
Mm,
been no better fielding team consistently in the history of cricket. Australia just is the pinnacle of fielding, right? There's
yeah.
they just do it the best.
Yeah, I would counter that with I used to remember South Africa, remember like De Villiers and Jonty Rhodes and all these guys. I remember that used to feel like it was the pinnacle watching them guys in the ponting and
Yeah,
stuff. But yeah, definitely. I mean, other teams are getting better and better and better. But when you think of catching, Australia catch so well, and England didn't catch so well. 5 catches is kind of criminal, you know. It's
yeah,
some easy, some very easy, some hard. But 5 catches is 5 catches. It's hard enough to create chances as bowlers. So hopefully you can snag a few, right?
yeah. And I mean that's what I said. Like if England take couple of those chances again, it shifts the momentum. You know what I mean? Like Duckett had an easy
Yep.
one bobble out of his hand. Obviously, it got counteracted with Jax getting an awesome one-handed specky soon
Yep.
after. But then at the beginning, Duckett had a diving save, a diving one in the slips. You know, if you do a nice diving catch, it really like everyone's up and about, and you could see when Jax took his, he was up, and the crowd was
Yeah.
up, and
Loved it.
Barmy Army was up, and you drop one and everyone's heads go down and the gas kind of goes out of everyone. And between Stokes and Joff, they are very animated when things go wrong. Like
Yeah.
particularly Ben Stokes. I've clipped all of the oh he goes oh hang the head. And you know, I don't know what that is, what it's like for the players to have your like captain be your bowler. I never had a captain be a bowler,
Mm.
and then to see them visibly like upset all the time. Is there someone that you were under that was captain that bowled, or it was like that, or is it have you experienced that before?
No, I haven't, but I just know when I've played with people, Stokes is normally fairly level-headed, but he's obviously under the pressure there of the Ashes and obviously getting pumped 2-0. But I know when I've played with certain captains, when they're too animated, it kind of puts you off a little bit. You want someone who's calm-headed, like Owen Morgan was the best. You wouldn't know if you bowled a pie or you got a wicket. It's fairly like level-headed, and this is your job. This is what you do. Sometimes if you're put under pressure and you see your captain doing this behind on the side of your eye, like all that, you know what I mean? It puts extra
Yeah,
pressure that I mean, the bowler's probably not trying to do that. Something wrong. He might have got smacked. He might have misplaced the ball, but the shit happens, right? So it's
yeah,
but it's just also showing passion and want to win. There's also that side of it. It might be animated, but it might not be at the ball. It might be at the frustration of not getting a wicket, you know? So only
yeah,
they will know.
yes. So yeah, so moving out of this test into the next test, England have to pull it together to kind of save face and put on a show and not just get completely rolled. They did a better job. They're doing a little bit better. They got it.
Mm.
They got the game to move into 4 days instead of 2 days. But they really have to get away from this one brings two thing. Like it seems
Yeah.
now when for England, if one goes down, you're ready for three more to come in the next couple of overs.
Yeah.
And Australia just going to ride this high into Adelaide, right?
Yeah, I mean, to your point, I think you hit the nail on the head there. And in Adelaide, you can't lose wickets in bunches. That seems to be that just ruins everything. You got a partnership of 130, but then you lose five quick wickets. It's like, okay, great. We have to separate that out. Australia showed they could do it in the lower order. England did it in lower order. You can back time. You can be positive but not reckless. And I think that's what they need to do. But it's going to be hard to come back against an Australian team who are firing. They're bringing two more people into the squad who's got over 800 wickets between them in Test cricket. So that's not a bad thing to have. So yeah, the pressure's fully on England. England have to going to go away, rethink it, think about what they've done wrong because they did do a lot wrong in this test between catching, bowling, and batting. So they've got a lot of food for thought. But I think they're going to come exactly the same way, right? Hopefully a little bit smarter, but they still play the shots. They're still going to do massive drives. They're still going to try and ramp. They're still going to try and run down the wicket. So we'll see how it pays out, May. But it's not working right now, and I don't think the way they're playing is going to work in Adelaide either. So
Well, maybe their 4 days of golf will settle the mind and get them into a good headspace.
yeah, good some rotation. Good rotation. Yeah.
There you go. There you go, team. That is your second test wrap from the Gabber. Liam, thank you very much. It's
That's
been
cricket.
awesome. That's cricket.
That's cricket.